Today's matchup. Maru. Classic. GuMiho. Zoun. Round of 20. Group C. (2022) Hot 6 GSL Season 3.
I take the whole city down with this.
Takes the whole city down with this. You hear those lyrics? The whole city?
Whole city.
Oh no! GuMiho vs. Classic is up next, guys. And I gotta say, I think this should be a close one. It's kind of fun that we have these two, facing off. This was really like a matchup from like 4 or 5 years ago that I feel like we would have all been super hyped about. But it's 2022. They're here in Group C. One's going to move on. One's going to be knocked out.
I'm liking the way things look for GuMiho right now. I mean, both Classic and Zoun really struggled in the TVP matches we had earlier today, and especially it was telling in the interview. Maru said that he kind of prepared strategies that were good against Phoenix because he just knows that that's what Classic has been practicing.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like if Classic doesn't mix it up and kind of deviate from that game plan here against GuMiho, he might run into the same problems that he did against Maru. So I'm interested in seeing kind of like what Classic's game plan is going to be here in the final match.
I don't think that the Classic can do this Phoenix stuff for much longer. It seems very
agree.
obsolete. GuMiho he can watch the games. I get asked this from time to time on Twitter, by the way, guys. Can the pros watch the games? Yeah. They can watch backstage. They can watch in the audience. We don't have any rules for that. So, I mean, you already saw Classic get taken down, and GuMiho doesn't appear to have any issues with this matchup. So I think Classic needs to go back into that toolkit, come out with 2 other builds, and play a very different game. That's my thoughts. We're ready to go into this map 1, guys. It's going to start on Data C.
Storm Gaming, GuMiho. Prep Esports, Classic.
Checking for proxies is Classic. GuMiho, always a wild card.
Yeah, well, GuMiho has always been, I think, a tough player to prep against. In some ways, I feel like he's actually the toughest, maybe Terran to prep for ever in GSL, even though Maru, I think, is like right up there with him. I think Maru wins more no matter what he does, but I think what GuMiho is doing, a lot of times people just can't figure out what it is until it's already started, and by then it's too late. But, again, I don't feel like GuMiho is going to be that uncomfortable going into this.
No, not at all.
I think he's, feels strong in the matchup. And, it does seem, and by the way, this was true last season. I talked about this a little bit. I talked about it incorrectly because I thought everybody was going to play like Hero last season. I thought that's what was going to happen. And we're going to see all the Protosses kind of revolutionize and evolve like in the season.
Yeah.
And it actually didn't happen. Just Hero played like Hero. And I did it here today, where I'm like, well, I mean, you guys saw what Hero did, and he just won GSL.
Right.
And I thought that we were going to see games that look like that, and now we don't.
No.
We don't have games like that at all. So, oh, by the way, he's going to one-base factory?
Yeah, one-base
factory. I was
factory.
looking at you. I look back at the mini-map, and I'm like, what? So, I don't feel like our Protosses have modernized. I mean, that being said, it's a lot more than just knowing what other players are doing and doing that. There's all sorts of things you have to map out to play a healthy game and play it out right. But, yeah, so far, here we go, Classic with the Stargate. Now, again, I think if he goes for Blink and maybe, well, I don't know.
One thing that's kind of funny is probably the best thing that Phoenix is against is like a one-base factory play.
Yeah.
So we might actually see Phoenixes again if Classic has an idea that this is coming, and I think he should.
Yeah, it's going to be a command center on low ground, and then basically, yeah, I mean, it's a a beeline tech from factory into starport. So you're still going to get the perks of having an extra base pretty quickly, but at the same time, you're not, you know, you're not like going into starport before you're expanding or anything like that.
Yeah, Phoenix is in production once again. Looks like it will be Cloak Banshee coming out from GuMiho and Classic. Phoenix can kind of be a double-edged sword against this. Hopefully he will go into the main base of GuMiho and really identify that this is coming, because if you have to wait for like an Oracle to come out to deal with the Banshees, it can be...
Oh, it'll be bad, man.
Really bad really quickly. But if you do have detection, those Banshees can get shut down hard. So Classic can't be unhappy with this situation. We're once again flying, and I feel like we had almost this exact thing.
Oh, he did not see that.
No, he didn't. This is like almost identical. I guess it
doesn't matter.
This is identical to what happened against Maru. It was like the Reaper went up at like the exact same spot, and the Stargate was placed at the exact same spot. Same map.
So funny.
Reaper was not able to spot it either time.
But I guess it doesn't matter if you see it or not. If you see the second Phoenix come out, you go, all right, well, he didn't get an Oracle.
Oh, he didn't see the Stargate, so he's still in the dark. Oracle is coming out though, so definitely his star senses are tingling.
Yeah, we've got the Banshee coming up now. The question is going to be, are the Phoenixes going to be where they need to be? Now, he basically had to flip a coin here, and he got whatever side he didn't bet on, because he went to the bottom right to catch something. This Banshee's coming up here from the top left.
Yeah, that Banshee has the potential to get a lot of damage in. Probe's already going down. In the meantime, GuMiho is moving out with all those Marines right in the middle of the map. Revelation will pop. Stalkers will push this back, but 4 probes already going down, and
this
third base
Banshee harass is supplemented with a pretty sick push. I mean, GuMiho's going to take that out and a pylon, and he just is going to kamikaze the Banshee. Oh, I guess he's not going to try to get kills. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that third base being denied now, and I'm liking this composition out from GuMiho. That Banshee catching him off guard is really problematic, because suddenly Classic is just woefully out of position to deal with this, and even overextending here, almost losing a Stalker to these Cyclones, as GuMiho's trying to delay this expansion as long as he can. Classic coming out now. Lifts on the Cyclones, they'll be taking the damage from the Marines.
Another Banshee headed up though into the main here. A lot of trades on either side.
The Oracle went down. I don't think he has another one.
He's got another, yeah, you're right. He has another one that's going to come here, but he has a battery as well. Is there a battery up here? I guess not. So, but you know what? Can't Protoss just run down and kill whatever Terran has down in the bottom left?
I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's in production right now. So GuMiho, he might be losing this command center, but Classic looks like he's actually going to come back. He doesn't want to sacrifice the units here to the Cloak Banshee.
Well, the Banshee's not going to last that long here. It's only got like 10 energy. He's just trying to buy time. So I guess he didn't.
CC's going to finish?
Yeah, you know, I got to say, man, I think it is still possible that Classic might just have enough that he goes over here and clobbers the Terran.
Yeah, I mean, GuMiho right now, what does he have? He has 2 Widow Mines, 2 Banshees, 2 Marauders, and a Marine. It's like 2 of almost everything here.
Yeah, this is like that Christmas Carol song or something like that. Like, just... he's going to kill the SCV that made was making the bunker. The bunker is actually going to be killed even if it finishes.
Yeah, that's really rough here for GuMiho. He needed that bunker to kind of be the linchpin in the defense. Widow Mine's coming forward.
Banshee goes down. I don't know if he has enough to tag the ground, but I think he also has enough with Stalkers alone that he can kind of, he could just sort of fire from a distance. Now, I think
all the Widow Mines are gone now. Yeah, GuMiho.
And there's no medevac here.
No, so there's no medevac.
He can't heal this. Stim's going to be done, but I don't even know how many of these units can actually stim right now.
Yeah, one of the Marauders is just on 1 HP, and the unit production here for GuMiho is just not really enough. Luckily for him, Classic is not reinforcing this, and he's actually going to try and pull SCVs to try and deal with it, but the Stalkers can just kite back. This is huge damage.
Yeah, it's sort of unreal. Like, it just keeps... you know, adding up and up here. He gets another depot. I think he might want to back off now. Anything else might be an overextension. But, dude, as I say that, 3 more Stalkers are marching down here.
I don't think he really can overextend here, because what is this bio going to do? I mean, he can't really chase down these Stalkers. Like, they're so mobile.
But he's got Stim now. He's got medevacs.
He doesn't even have Concussive Shell. He's just now starting it.
Yeah. Yeah, Stalkers are, in these moments, are basically better units.
Yeah, you really need concussive to shut it down, but GuMiho just doesn't have it. Just continuously kiting his classic, and he's finding so much value out of these stalkers. Meanwhile, his third base. Oh, feedback. So there's a bit of a window there to feedback.
It's too bad.
Instead, gonna have to morph it. That does kind of suck there for Classic, because Storm just now completed. Would have loved to have those high energy Templar, but I mean, regardless, this is such a good position for him right now.
I mean, the thing with Classic is that he's already taken his fourth. The third is just landed now for GuMiho. He's dropped mules there, but you know, it's funny because Terran's going to come out and attack. I almost feel like Protoss has another opportunity to put pressure on here. But
I think so.
A lot of this may come down to, you know, how Terran moves on the map and whether Terran can generate the threat of a drop that'll keep Protoss defending, or if Protoss feels safe enough to maybe come out on the map and try to hit somewhere and then recall back to defend.
I think in any case, Terran is really going to need Ghosts to have any chance of contending this, because right now, Classic has 6 Templar out. 4 of them are in that Warp Prism, 2 with his army. And that's going to be 6+ Storms that he has available. Now, both players are kind of moving across the map, unaware of each other. GuMiho just now spotting Classic on this side. And he's going to go for a base trade. Okay. All right. I like this decision because he cannot fight Classic's army head-on right now.
But can he just recall here?
He's not going to.
No, he's not. You're right.
All right. Well, this Nexus isn't going to go down. The question is, how much damage is Classic going to be able to find? Actually, the Storm coming back. This could be huge, but he's not looking.
Oh!
4 Templar go down to the Warp Prism. He wasn't looking. The Widow Mine and the Marines clean it up. GuMiho finding some big damage. In the meantime, Classic is raining hell down on the natural of GuMiho.
Well, the question now is, can Protoss get on top of the barracks? I mean, you know, we were talking about this earlier here. Only it was TVT, but the same ideas apply.
Yeah.
The thing is, Terran has enough as well that I think he can basically keep taking fights and healing. So I think it's a little bit ambiguous who's going to take this, to be totally honest. It's not that clear. Minerals in the bank. Nobody has enough to make a new Nexus or Command Center. Obviously, Terran can still float theirs.
SCV is getting absolutely slaughtered. But look at the army supply right now. 62 for GuMiho to the 37 of Classic. And Classic is doing more warp-ins. He's building a lot more cannons here at this 4th base. God, this is such a crazy game.
Oh,
GuMiho's going to try and stop it.
Yeah, he's going to try to get under. Oh, you know,
man.
I mean, it's a lot of workers, dude.
That is a lot of
workers.
workers.
You got to move to the left. Oh,
this is Classic's entire economy. Those Widow Mines did go down to the cannons there for GuMiho.
And it's 4 cannons here. That's a lot,
Look at this bio, though. That's so much Marine Marauder. That's so many probes going out, 36 probes.
Oh, he can really work the angle here to hit the Nexus.
Classic has 438 minerals. If this Nexus goes down, he can rebuild it, but he doesn't have the army.
He's got mines here, too. Well, he's not even going to worry about trying to have him fight over the mines.
I think Classic is dead. He doesn't have the army to deal with this. This is too much bio. GuMiho going for the base trade. That's going to be it, man. Wow, GuMiho is pulling the rabbit out of the hat.
Lots of rabbits. All the rabbits out of all the hats is what he did.
Wow.
Dude, that was crazy.
GuMiho with a fantastic win there is going to bring us to match point.
Oh my gosh. I can't even believe it.
That was insane. You know, it's a completely different game if that Warp Prism with the 4 Templars does not go down. That changed everything. Classic, 1 lapse of concentration, 1 moment he doesn't see the Warp Prism coming over the army.
Yeah.
And he loses what could be potentially 8 Storms in such a critical moment.
All right, we're going to go to Moondance for map 2. Yeah.
Oh, map 2. I was going to say, wait a second, go to elimination match. Yeah, map 2 Moondance.
Dude, I can't believe he lost that Warp Prism, man. I can't believe it. Had he got the Storm off, he would have softened up the army that he probably could have had a couple Warp-ins that would have just been able to chew it down to size. Game 2, guys. It's ready. GuMiho right now with a 1-0 lead.
Storm Gaming, GuMiho. Trap Esports Classic.
And again, Classic with the lead for most of that. I mean, was doing a great job. It seemed like GuMiho had gotten ahead early on, and then Classic just basically patiently realized, okay, A, you don't have a lot of infantry. B, your Banshees are going to run out of energy and they can't fight me then. He took a really good fight at the entrance, and then he was 2 bases ahead to GuMiho's 2, so it was 4-2.
To take the whole city down, stateless. I love that.
So good having you guys in the studio.
That's some quick
That's
writing.
Fast, yeah. That was very quick. That joke was just a little bit ago. But then, you know, when Classic was up 2 bases, GuMiho just saw this opportunity to try to take him with a counterattack. And you said this earlier, State, that it's like, the reality is he's never going to win a fight against his army head on. But what he did do is manage to keep enough of his stuff alive that he, you know, it couldn't be contested.
Yeah, and I liked how you mentioned Classic had the opportunity to go for a recall there. And I feel like at some point that would have been the play, because you really need to keep your economy up there as Classic, and you need AoE to fight that bio ball back at home. Instead, it was just GuMiho's entire army effectively just completely mowing down like these scrappy gateway forces from Classic as he was trying to hold on. And GuMiho with a killer instinct there, coming out of the win. And now Classic on an elimination point. If he loses this map, he is out of the GSL Code S. Going for a proxy Stargate.
Yeah.
1 base.
That's important to note. It's not a Nexus into Stargate. So it's going to be Terran on the receiving end here. Terran is going to have to try to, you know, concoct a defense against this. And he doesn't know what it is yet. I mean,
Nexus.
you would suspect a Stargate, because that's probably the most common proxied building nowadays.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, you know, it doesn't tell the full story.
Classic taking an expansion now, and GuMiho with a low ground CC might be getting punished here. He has 2 Marines and a Wood of Mine in production. That SCV not seeing that Stargate there, the Vespine Geyser, and it's gonna be, man, this map is aptly named Moondance. We're gonna be dancing around the CC for a while, I think, with this Widow Mine and SCV. I think GuMiho's gonna be able to secure this here with his second Widow Mine coming out.
Yeah.
There's no way this gets denied, just delayed.
It's like just 100 more shots from the Stalker and it's over.
Oracle's out. Man, that Oracle's out so quick.
He may get baited over here.
He might.
Every shot on these Marines is permanent until they can be healed, so. Gets that SCV.
Marines coming in now. Pick up. Just gonna hold his position with a Widow Mine. Now, Classic can't really break this. Revelation, though. Marines are gonna have to drop. He's gonna have to protect it.
Oh my God, this is such an insane engagement here.
Jeez.
This is a
second
crazy.
Oracle, it's gonna kill. Oh, it goes down to the Widow Mine.
Oh my God.
Once again.
To be honest, I didn't even quite know how to try to play-by-play that. That was so complicated. I just had to bang pots and pans together. That was insane. So there's the Widow Mine. It's still alive.
Oh man.
Oracle down. Ground army defeated.
GuMiho
gets the base up.
I feel so bad for Classic. This is just reminiscent of the previous game, man. Critical unit at a critical point goes down to a Widow Mine. Last time it was the Warp Prism with 4 Templar flying over Marines in a Widow Mine. He needed that to defend the base trade. This time, the second Oracle, which could have potentially cleaned up and maybe even provide an opportunity to deny that natural expansion, gets taken out in an unforced error. That's just brutal here for Classic.
Dude,
and
it's not done yet, man. There's a Widow Mine drop inbound here. It's going to come all the way in the back and hit the main. There's a chance Protoss doesn't see this.
I think he's unaware.
Yeah.
Right now he has his eyes set on this Viking and Marine force moving in the center of the map, because this is something that he also has to deal with, and here we go.
Okay, I don't know if he's watching.
Right.
He's fast.
He's gonna pull. But this is so much lost mining time.
He's gonna get the pylon. And keep in mind, that means that, you know, the oracles that he has, that's, you know, what he's gonna have to keep here. It's a funny engage. Okay,
Always
so
is.
it was cleaned up there, nicely done. And there's going to be a third base. He does see the third Nexus coming here. That gives a bit of a fork in the road here for decisions.
I think the decision's already been made. GuMiho's been making nothing but Marines, Siege Tanks, and Liberators, and...
No!
Oh man, that hurts so much. You want that Phoenix to stay alive here, and Classic, he knows that he's behind, and he's taking this third base to try and find some kind of way of...
But the third base might be the way that he ends up losing this game.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem.
Blink's almost done, but there's not a lot of stalkers here. The Oracle goes down!
The army for GuMiho right now is just too much.
I think this may be over, man.
I think it is.
Oh my God.
An absolute heartbreaker here for Classic. Just shadowing the failures of the last game, losing critical units there to the Widow Mines, and it just shows at the top level how much PVC can kind of hang on a dime, as GuMiho is going to be the second player to advance out of Group C, and oh man, Classic.
Dude,
gotta feel so bad for him.
No, man, I'm excited for GuMiho. This was one hell of a series. He's even got the Stalkers behind to try and intercept, but he's already killed the Nexus off. By the way, GuMiho is going to have 2 bases here. 2 extra bases, I should say. So 3 bases total. This is like a weird way I put that, but you guys get what I'm saying. Now, the 4 Stalkers is not a bad idea to try to, you know, basically intercept anything else that may reinforce here.
Yeah. But GuMiho with such an advantage right now. Classic going to try everything he can to claw his way back into this, because if he loses this map, he is out of the GSL Code S. But this force here by GuMiho, 40 armies applied to 24, up 10 workers, up a base. It's really his game to lose right now. And I know we've said that before.
Yeah, well...
All right, Classic coming in with a really beautiful engagement, but there's just so much here for GuMiho.
The tanks are actually, one is barely killed off.
I mean, honestly, Classic, he couldn't have taken that fight any better, but it just, GuMiho's army is just so much stronger.
Yeah, and now he can come up here and take out the remaining infrastructure here. Another Stalker immediately goes down, and back inside there, a Liberator's planted. This game is moments away from being over.
GuMiho going to be the second player to advance from Group C, man, and really a fantastic series. It was a 2-0, but it felt a lot closer than that. GG is called.
This is what we call
GuMiho with a 2-0 win.
Hell yeah, dude. GuMiho going on to the next stage, that being the round of 10. And I'll tell you, man, he played really, really well. His games against Maru could not have been closer. They were, I think, some of the funnest TVTs I've casted all year.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you can hang with Maru like that, I don't see any other players being that much of a threat. So, you know, let's keep an eye on GuMiho as he goes on to the next level, because we got to ask ourselves, how much farther can he go?
Certainly looking to be in good form. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. Gonna have that interview ready for you guys in just a moment.
Man.
But what a heartbreaker there for Classic.
Crushing defeat for Classic. But I'll tell you, man, when you're against somebody that good, that's how they can beat you sometimes. They just take a little advantage and they twist it and turn it into a huge lead. We're going to go to an interview now with GuMiho and see how he's feeling. He's moving on to the round of 10.
GuMiho of Sidestorm Gaming defeats Classic in the final match to move on to round of 10. So he's going to be the second place to move on to round of 10 from Group C. Congratulations, GuMiho. Thank you. GuMiho, since you came here, you told me that your hands are not warmed up, you're nervous, and all of that. So how do you feel today, now that you've moved to the round of 10? You know, honestly, I don't know how the viewers think about it. But as I was playing the games, I misclicked a lot, I made lots of trivial mistakes. Even the supply depots, I thought I clicked them, but I didn't. And there were so many mistakes like that. So today I think I was able to gain victories through decision making, not through micro. I mean, I try to play as slow as possible.
GSL에서 전역 후에 처음으로 이기고 진출을 했거든요. 10강에는 조금 더 달라진 모습
보여주고 있습니다. So GuMiho, can you show a different side of yours in the round of 10?
그랬으면 좋겠네요.
I hope I can.
진짜 온라인 대회에서는 요새 좀 많이 이기기도 하고.
I mean, online matches I won a lot these days. I've been to foreign tournaments. I did good. I thought I'd be not nervous today. But I guess GSL, you know, is a different stage and means a lot to me. So maybe that's why I was nervous today. I mean, overall, your performance today was very satisfactory for you. In the final match, in the first game, you decided to go to base trade, base race. to take the win. So what was that about?
보면 제가 정확하게 모든 걸 알 수는 없었지만
I mean, I can't know like what was going on, like everything that was going on.
생각했는데 안 지은 그 실수 때문에 너무 불리해진 것
I thought I built the
같아요.
bunkers,
그래서
but I hadn't,
엘리전
and then
아니면 답이
that's
없을
when
것
things started like tilting for me.
그리고
So
오늘
the
경기를 좀
base trade was
기다리고
the
있는
only thing
선수가
that I could opt for.
조성주 선수가 기다리고 있었는데
So
혹시
GuMiho,
조성주 선수에게
Maru
조언
was
들은 게
waiting for you in
있을까요?
the winners match, and he's waiting for you right now. So any advice you got it from him? You got it from him.
제가 딱히 뭘 물어보진 않았는데 왜 기다리고
No, I didn't really
있는지
ask him for
저도 잘
advices. I don't know why he's waiting for me right now.
이길 수 있을 거라는 말은 계속 해주긴 했어요.
I mean, he kept telling me that I can win,
테란이
and he kept trying to boost my confidence.
테란이 4명이나
So GuMiho, right now in the round of 10, we have 10 Terrans, and we have 2 groups to see so far.
좋아졌나요?
So right now, do you think Terrans are in a good
제가
position right
생각할
now
때는
in terms of map pool as well?
그러니까 저는 연습하면서는 그런 걸 잘 못 느끼는데
Personally, I don't really
다른 테란의
think that way
플레이를 보면
in
확실히
practice.
약간
But when I see other
팀력들이
Terrans
좋은
playing,
면이 많이 있는 것
I can
같아.
definitely tell that they're really good
저거전은
at their
진짜 잘
plays.
모르겠고 토스전은
I'm not too sure about TVZ, but TVP, I feel like the Protoss, the maps are not really favored towards the Protoss right now.
네 맞습니다.
그럼 이번 TSL 수국에서 첫 상대가 또
So this
장현우
TSL9, you'll be going up against Creator.
변현우 선수.
Oh no, Byun, actually.
근데 이제 변현우 선수 집에서 또 오늘 자게 되고
So you'll be sleeping at Byun's house today, and then you'll be departing for TSL9 tomorrow. So anything else you want to say before you
사실
depart for
제가
TSL9?
GSL 무대에서 올라와도 맨날
You know, honestly, even if I make it to the round of 10 in GSL, I always get eliminated, and it's been really hard for me. But today I'm really relieved to have won today,
많이 보여드릴 테니까
and I'll try to show a better
응원
performance
많이
from now on and
해주시기
try to
바랍니다.
please
감사합니다.
root for me.
축하드립니다.
Thank you. Congratulations.
네, 이것으로 20강 시조 경기가
Thank you
모두
very much,
마무리가
Andy.
됐는데요.
All right, guys, that
문규리
was
아나운서가 쾌차하시길
was a quick one.
바라면서 오늘 최종 경기
Yeah,
결과
it really
확인해
was.
보겠습니다.
A lot of TVP one-sided series here today.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's not Hero playing today.
No.
That's what I said. It's not. I guess we're gonna have to wait to get Hero style plays.
Yeah, Terran going undefeated against Protoss, and Maru and GuMiho going to be 2 players advancing out of Group C. And I gotta say though, in that final match, Classic did look a lot better than he did in the first PVT.
He
and
did,
the
but
way that he lost was such a heartbreaker.
I think also it's important to point out that GuMiho really took the situation and he played it out very well. I think even in GSL, we have a lot of pro gamers that kind of, they're trying to follow the same roadmap that they had in all their games before. And I think you look at GuMiho and you go, oh, you can actually make the map right there. You know, and you may never be in that situation again. When we come back, and that'll be on Thursday, it's going to be Creator, Su, Ryung, and Ragnarok for Group D. We have a week off after that. We're going to come back on Thursday, and then it's going to be Korean Thanksgiving. So there's going to be a little bit of downtime, guys, before the round of 10, and then everything should be on schedule. Korean Thanksgiving is a massive holiday out here, and so everybody in the studio has time off for that.
Yeah,
And
going to
the
be a fun
pros.
Group D.
Yeah.
Terran, Protoss, and Zerg going to have everything.
Yeah, we got a little bit of each race in there. And, you know, Ragnarok and Su, these are 2 guys we've been, you know, hoping are going to play very well. I think Creator should be the favorite to get out of that group, assuming he can be consistent like he was last year. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say on that. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting one. It's weird because today, I thought today, I should say, was going to be crazy.
I thought it was going to be so close.
And close, yeah. I thought we're going to have a lot of games inside the best of 3s, and they're going to be long. And instead, today was very short, a lot of one-sided games. These 2 Protosses, I felt like were very safe bets for, like, people that could advance. Not the case at all. You know, it's important to continue to evolve as a player, especially as a pro. Hero winning GSL as a Protoss the first time in 5 years. It's because he brought a lot of new ideas here. And I don't know if our Protosses did that as much today, especially in the matchup that Hero got his championship on.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate seeing kind of the same Protoss strategy 4 times in a row to start things off, going Phoenix every time and then just die into a push. But Classic showed a little bit of life there in the final match. I think we'll definitely be seeing him again in the next season of GSL. I mean, it's a mainstay. I think he can go way further than the round of 20.
I think so, for sure. But, yeah, I mean, this is the last GSL Codes for the year, so there's a lot to fight for these guys. But, that's kind of where we're at in a game that's this season, is that some of these players who are, legends, GSL champions, are already getting knocked out.
Especially the new format, round of 20. I mean, it's competitive, Only 10 players make it to the next round.
Yeah, and this new format has made round of 10 especially interesting as well. That's all the time we have, guys. We love you. We will see you on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. KST. Bye-bye.
GSL Season 3.